Ability of facing the Warriors in the next round, facing them again in the playoffs.
I wouldn't. This is the best. We'll get ready for that. We've been working on that. We've been working on it all year long. We've been working on it all year long. So, I think.
Coach, in the last series against Utah, you all held them under 30% shooting from the three-point line, and now tonight you held them under 24%. How impressed are you with your defense?
Good. We've been playing good for like 3 months now, so it doesn't surprise me. And a lot of that is, I think, a lot of negative vibes coming in. So we're begging not to go in. So they got to also overcome that one.
Yeah.
I'm groveling over there trying not to get a three to go in. But, give our guys credit and playing hard. And when you do, good things happen.
He's taking it to the rim, and that's opening a lot of things for the Rockets up. And that play and the way they're playing defense and hitting the boards has just got them right back in the middle of the zone.
Yeah, and on last night he said that he's like, well, the first game, there were some calls that, could have went my way. And then the second game, I just couldn't see. He was like, I just couldn't see.
That laceration over his eye.
Yeah, well, he said, but games 3 and 4, he's just been playing, and he still feels like he hasn't played his best game yet. He still, and the Rockets feel that way as well because they went but they didn't make a field goal the last 2 minutes and 31 seconds of the fourth quarter. And so they know that they can play better. And if they play better, that game should have been a blowout last night. But you up by 17 and, you cannot get out of your offense. But by the same token, you're missing a lot of threes as well. And so that allowed the Golden State to get back into the game. So we go right up inside the balance, feeling pop up at his crib like and Coach Brian Bearfield, KYK Sports, you played with some of the best and against some of the best. Have you ever seen anybody have a great 4-game stretch like Kevin is having?
There's this guy named Michael. I can't remember his last name. But no, Kevin's run these last couple of weeks has just been off the charts. I've said it a few times this week. He's the most skilled basketball player on earth. He's one of the most skilled basketball players to ever play the game. There's never been anybody like him. 6'11", handles ball, shoots threes, passes, defends. He's just an unbelievable talent. And I think after we lost game 2 to the Clippers, I think he just felt, like he just had to turn it up and lift us up another level. And that's exactly what he's done.
One thing even the Rockets are impressed with, Tony, is Kevin Durant's brilliance of late. In his last 5 games, Durant has scored 38, 33, 45, 50, and 35 for an average of 40.2. Some clueless millennial prisoner of now had the nerve to ask Steve Kerr if he had ever seen anything like Durant's stretch. And Kerr chuckled before invoking the name of his former teammate, whose initials are M and J. Anyway. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Big Sarge here from Sports Talk with Big Sarge on the legendary KWalk and the all-new 92.3 FM right here in Houston, Texas. I guess I should say thank you, maybe. It's my name, and it's been in a lot of people's mouths today, especially in the national media. Y'all have kept my name in y'all mouth a whole lot. And all you got to do is add me, Big Sarge Sports, just like it's spelled right here, with a Z at the end, on Twitter. And we can talk about it. Am I mad? Of course not. I'm not mad. I don't get mad behind this type of stuff. It's just talking. That's all it is. But I'm part of the media, too. So I know what it's like to need a story or to want a story. So I'm cool with that. Or just call me and have me on your shows instead of just keep talking about the fact that I call the players Mr. Yeah, somebody in the national media had a problem with me saying Mr. to the players that I cover, right? For both teams, any teams. They've earned that respect. That's why I give it to them. Then I got, talked about by the mothership for asking Steve Kerr the question that I asked him, which was, you have played with some of the greatest. You've played against some of the greatest. Have you seen anybody have a better 5-game playoff stretch than Kevin Durant? And he answered the question. But y'all know, those two guys, hey, get off my lawn! Those two guys from PTI, Wilbon and Kornheiser, those guys, they took delight in talking about me today. Hey, listen, though, I do appreciate it because you called me a millennial. I appreciate that, even though I'm 47 years old. Go figure. See this right here? This isn't donut residue, sir. This is gray hair. So, like I said, have me on your show. Reach out to me, Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end on Twitter. DM me. I'll come on. We can talk about it. Or just call the legendary K-Wild carrying the all-new 92.3 FM. You can find me. I'm out.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, Knuckleheads. You can get the podcast on the app or Apple Podcasts.
Big Sarge Sports, shout out, world's oldest millennial.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Big Sarge here, a.k.a. the Clueless Millennial, on my way to Oakland, California to cover Game 2 of the Western Conference Semifinals between the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. It should be an interesting game since the NBA put out that 2-minute report on yesterday showing that there was some indiscrepancies in the calls. But the Rockets have to be better coming out in the first quarter and not miss 13 three-pointers and slow down Draymond Green. Get Clint Capella going, get PJ Tucker back involved into the offense, and they should be able to come back with the split. But if they allow Kevin Durant to have another quarter like he did in the third quarter and go off of 15 points, it's going to be a long night. Big Sarge here, a.k.a. the Clueless Millennial. Thank you, Mike Wilbon. I'm out. Mr. Paul, you all came out and played very well and only lost about 4 points. What can you take away from this game to take into game number 2?
Loss. You know what I mean? In playoffs, whether it's 1, whether it's 30, it's a loss. But I think first thing we do is we look at ourselves. We got to defend better. Especially me, I missed 3 free throws and, techs. I hit that tech, first one. Last one too, those points that team, the way they score the ball, giving up techs, it's an emotional game, so shoot a 3 and 1, get a tech. It's tough, but I gotta be smarter because I don't do nothing but hurt our team.
You got switched out on KD some tonight, but you played really good defense on him. Was that a challenge for you?
Yeah, it was a challenge. Of course, he's really good at what he's doing. All I'm trying to do is the best job to make him take a tough shot. A couple of times I did great, a couple of times he scored some. So, I'm always going to be confident about it and try to attack him with confidence as I play defense on him.
Brian Bearfield, KYK Sports. Coach, what can you do better in the next game to stop Kevin Durant? He wasn't effective the first half, but he really got going that second half.
Well, if you need to email me and tell me, because I don't think anybody ever knows that. He's just shooting it over time. He's one of the greatest players I've ever seen. I thought we did a great job, especially until PJ got a little bit of foul trouble, and then things happened. But and then Kevin happens. I mean, the guy's good. We held him to 104 points. That's good enough with 2 technicals and a lot of different things. So that side of it, we could have done better in the first half. We had some communication problems, and we'll learn as we go forward and tighten up our defense. But offensively, we just got to do a little bit better job.
Mike.
All right, good call, good take. It sounds like you're saying they just need a different mindset because, like you mentioned, you're not going to get a whole new skill set, within the playoffs. Is that the makeup of this? I mean, I would love for whether it's Kenneth Faried and, maybe he has to have the chance given to him, or Daniel House to take on that mentality as a Patrick Beverley, as we saw, because you don't really see that dog, and I know PJ Tucker, you know, he appears to be that dog, but you don't really see that dog on this team. You see a lot of skill, you see a lot of good players, but you just don't see that guy that, you know, everyone's gonna hate except for the people on his team, like a Beverly.
If you really want to see the Rockets get back into this series, they have to take out Draymond Green. Draymond Green is the key to the Warriors' success, and he's a walking triple-double. He does all the hustle things that that you want out of a player. And I'm not saying that, I'm not taking anything away from Draymond Green, but he's the hustle player and he's the bully. And when he gets to bullying and pushing everybody around and getting to do what he wants to do, then that whole team feeds off that energy. But the moment you take away Draymond Green, then you got Curry saying, okay, you mean I got to play defense the whole 30 seconds? And then you got Clay like, I'm tired of running around off these screens trying to chase James Harden. So for the Rockets to be successful, let's start with taking out Draymond Green, because Iguodala, you notice they were doing more live plays than the Rockets were in Game 2. And Iguodala says we just have that mindset and that energy that we feed off each other. Well, let's just go ahead and take one of those energy guys out and then see what they can and can't do. Because if you get deep, now you don't even have to get deep, but if you get into that Warriors bench, you can beat them.
713-212-5790. That's the voice of Big Sarge of Big Sarge Sports sitting in. And also don't forget to check out his article on Rockets Wire?
Yes, Rockets Wire.
Rockets Wire, that's a USA Today affiliate. Look
yes.
at you, big time. First, you're getting shout out by Tony Kornheiser on PTI, and now you're writing stuff for USA Today / Rockets Wire. All right, let's go back out to the phone lines.
Katie gets an open look, Steph gets a rebound. Walk me through those 8 seconds for you guys. What was that like?
You know what I mean? I think, we happy we came out with the win, but once again, they got a clean look. Last game, Game 3, KD got fouled on that same shot. And we gave him a bucket look, and Steph got a clean look. So, yeah, we won the game, but we got to be better. We understand that. Going back to the Bay, they probably not going to miss those shots.
What adjustments did you all make tonight? You all out-rebounded about 20.
We boxed out. We didn't box out either in game 1 or 2. We gave up some of the easiest offensive rebounds we've given up all year. We've had a problem with defensive rebounding throughout the year. Something that we continually got to work on. But I think we're just more aggressive on our box outs. And when everybody came in, we couldn't leak out. Everybody came back.
What's going through your mind that you see wants to challenge you?
I know that if I go with definitely have a chance, especially if I go with both hands, don't have any chance. That's how I feel.
You feel like
I was pretty confident. But of course that's the game. We went hard too. I went hard to protect the rim, so I got the block. So I looked at the arena for my team, and it's important to send a message.
How impressed were you by Shump's performance tonight?
Trump stepped up. Trump was big. Trump always plays hard. We need somebody else to play. Trump got more minutes, and he stepped up. He's a veteran. He's been around. He knows. He's got a ring. He knows what it takes.
Did you play angry tonight?
I play angry every night. You ever seen me play?
Coach, do you think that playing at home is what got you all started? The first 2 games in the first quarter, you started out slow, but tonight you all came out with a lot of energy.
Well, we did, but we know we're down.
Yeah.
We're down halfway through that quarter. Now we're ready to ship a little bit right at the end, but they came out and they hit everything. They were shooting like 70%, not easy shots. We made some mistakes, but then we just got better at it. Then they went cold for a while, but the game just has a lot of twists and turns and ups and downs, and you got to withstand their barrages and withstand doing everything right, and they still score. But if they just hang in and keep plugging. I thought tonight was just showed a lot of character, a lot of fight, and just didn't give up.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Big Sarge here from Sports Talk with Big Sarge. Well, the Rockets did it. They defeated the Golden State Warriors in Game 4, 112-108, to tie the series at 2. Now remember, nobody really gave the Rockets a chance to come home and win 2 games against the Golden State Warriors after the way that they played in Games 1 and 2 in Oakland. But now they head back out to Oakland on Wednesday for a crucial Game 5. James Harden led all scorers tonight with 38 points, but it was the huge play of P.J. Tucker scoring 17 points and grabbing 10 rebounds. P.J. Tucker has had 10-plus rebounds in 3 straight games, and he has been that glue. He has been that hustle maker for the Houston Rockets. The Rockets jumped up big on the Golden State Warriors in the third quarter by leading them by 17 points, but no lead is safe around Golden State. And they chopped within that. They chopped into that lead and got back within the game. And late in the fourth quarter, they were down by 3 points. And with 2 possessions to tie it, Kevin Durant missed a wide open 3, and then Steph Curry missed a 3, and then that was it. That's all she wrote. So we look forward to going out to Oakland in Game 5 to seeing if the Rockets can steal one and bring home court advantage back to Houston on Friday. Big Sarge from Sports Talk with Big Sarge. I'm out. Mr. Kerr, do you think that you all will get more production out of your bench going forward?
Everybody who steps foot on the floor helps us in different ways. But, score doesn't really have to be it. The stat sheet doesn't look great, but they give us huge, bonuses in terms of defensive presence and whatnot. And from game to game, no matter who's out there, we trust everybody that steps foot on the floor. So, Game 4 is going to be an opportunity for everybody to produce and play well. And at the end of the day, we're just trying to win basketball games. So everybody just being locked in and focused on that task, no matter again who steps foot on the floor.
It's one of the very best teams we've played during this 5-year run. They put so much pressure on you at both ends of the floor. It's a tremendous two-way basketball team. And we had to scrap and fight for everything the last 2 years against them. We've been fortunate enough to come out on top. Obviously it speaks to our group and their toughness and talent, but I can't speak any more highly of Houston and their grit and their competitiveness and their talent. That was an absolute grind, just like last year's. That's a great basketball team, but we're thrilled to be moving on and excited to have this one in our rearview mirror. And now we've got a lot more work ahead, but very satisfying victory tonight.
Mr. Green, did it feel like you went back to the 2015-2016 season with the offense that you all had to run without Kevin being in the game?
There were some times where it felt like that, where it's just, a lot of pace, a lot of movement, just trying to push the tempo. With Kevin, you just kind of got that luxury of, you can kind of be lazy because you always know you can just throw the ball to K and he's going to go get a bucket. To not have that luxury, it's a big change for us. Nonetheless, everybody adjusted, and it wasn't pretty. This game wasn't pretty for us by any standards. I don't think we played great at all, but down the stretch we did, and so that was big. But it definitely was a little throwback for us for sure.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Big Sarge here from Sports Talk with Big Sarge. Well, they say all good things must come to an end. And on tonight, the Houston Rockets was defeated by the Golden State Warriors 118-113 in Game 6 of the Western Conference Semifinals. Klay Thompson kept the Golden State Warriors afloat in the first half by scoring 21 points, while Steph Curry, for the first time in 102 playoff games, he ended the first half scoreless and only had 10 points through 3 quarters. But in the fourth quarter, Steph Curry got hot, just like he did at the end of Game 5, and he had 23 points to end the game with 33 points on the night. It was huge to see Golden State Warriors bounce back from what could have been a catastrophe with Kevin Durant being out. But They played the Rockets hard, and they stayed within the game in order to allow Curry to have such a big fourth quarter. The Rockets were led by James Harden and his 35 points, and Chris Paul chipped in 27 as he had a better game than he had in Game 5 where he only scored 11. Now, a lot of questions are going to be asked on what do the Rockets need to do in order to get better to defeat a team that has went to the Western Conference Finals for 5 straight years in the Golden State Warriors. James Harden said in the post-game press conference that he knows what he has to do. He knows what they have to do, but he didn't let us in on the secret. Coach Kerr gave the Rockets a lot of credit, saying that they were a great team and it was hard fought on both ends, but there could only be one winner, and it was the Golden State Warriors. Big Sarge here from Sports Talk with Big Sarge. I'm out.
You mentioned back to the drawing board. Is there a feeling in 6 games as close as these 6 were, what's lacking or what they have that you need to get to reach that level?
We'll see. I don't know. We just got to play smarter. I made that last 3 Clay hit. I made a false step towards Iguodala, and that's all they need. You know what I mean? Clay is tough. You know what I mean? He guards, he shoots. You know what I mean? So we let him get loose. First half, I don't think Steph has scored at all or anything in the game this time. So like I said, give them credit. They made the big plays, and they beat us.
Mr. Curry, what was your mindset tonight? Because you came out very aggressive.
To be aggressive. Last 48 hours has been pretty funny, and hearing all the noise and chatter about how I've been playing this series, and I take it all in stride and understand what I'm capable of, and doing it within the context of how we play as a team. And I know I can play even better, so just trying to stay within my stay within my own zone in terms of what I expect from myself out there on the floor, and leaving it all out there and living with the results, because I know how prepared I am every night, whether it's a night like tonight or game 3.
Second row middle.
Mr. Curry, last time you were here, you were saying that you had listened to the chatter the last 48 hours and what people have been saying about you. What do you think they're going to say now with the performance that you had in the second half?
That I get to play in the Western Conference Finals in 2019. Our story's crazy. It's been like that for the last 5 years, and it's going to continue to be until it's over. So, again, I gotta say, I try to stay even keel. Like after Game 3, hearing the chatter, hearing how poorly I was playing, this and that. A night like tonight doesn't happen without belief in myself, one, understanding my purpose. Being able to play in these type of games, and the people I have around me pouring some positivity and great energy into me and keeping my perspective straight on. It's just basketball. It's a game I played since I was 2 years old, so take the good with the bad and just play and have fun doing what you have to do.
Last 2, Mark.
Question. James, do you feel like y'all let an opportunity slip away with not being able to win this game?
Of course. Yeah, we got a lot of opportunities to win. Opportunities in the game, last game, opportunities in game 1 and 2. If you don't take advantage of the opportunities, you can end up on the losing side.
Coach, earlier you talked about your bench. I'm right here in the middle. Right here. Earlier you talked about your bench, but could you go into a little bit more detail about how big Kevon Looney was? Because Game 5 he came in the first quarter and gave you all a lot of energy, and then tonight he came out 14 big points, and he also kind of rendered Clint Capella ineffective.
Looney has been a rock for us all year, one of our key contributors. He's wise beyond his years. He's a guy who just understands the game and makes the right play over and over again. Really, really smart, and he's so easy to coach. And his teammates have so much respect for him. And he was great all series, and big tonight as well.
After the start, 1-5, 0-14, but if you look back at the big picture, did that hurt you guys at all? Just the number 4 seed, not having home court advantage, and when you're trying to win a title, not starting the way a championship team does?
That's exactly. You hit it on the nail. Especially against a great team like that, like you want to give yourself the best chance. And we, 4th seed, you had the first series we're going at home, home court advantage. Second, you had to play on the road, which is difficult. So we got to get off to a better start, and we got to give ourselves the best chance and get that number 1, number 2 seed. So it's a huge part of it.
Put this in the words, man. You've been around and you guys have fought hard. What do you say after the game?
They just outplayed us. They was played smarter than us. They made the big plays when we didn't. Too many turnovers, and they just beat us.
Mr. Harden, you had a great season, and I know you didn't want it to end this way, but how proud are you of your teammates the way they fought to the end tonight?
Extremely proud. That's kind of been the story all year long. We've been fighting, no matter what troubles hit our way. We find a way to fight through. We find a way to be on top. Tonight we came up a little short, but it was a pretty good year for us.
With that being said, on the flip side of that coin, ain't nothing wrong with losing to the Warriors. They are a dynasty. Listen, they didn't just win one championship like the Mavs. Like the Mavericks won one championship. That ain't a dynasty. A dynasty is when you win like 3, which the Warriors have. The Celtics won. The Celtics won. The Lakers won. Matter of fact, since 1980 to now, the Lakers got 10 championships. There's only been 11 teams in the last 39 years to win the championship. That's why I always laugh when people are like, well, they could have just won championship. It is not that easy. There's no parity in the league. I don't know why y'all don't understand that. Do y'all know for a certain amount of time, the only people that won the NBA Finals was the Lakers, the Spurs, and the Pistons? Look it up. The Lakers, the Spurs, and the Pistons. Last I checked, there's a whole bunch of teams in the NBA. Ain't it like 32? 32 teams, right? And we're talking about 3 in a time span of how many years? Championships are not easy to come by. So for the Warriors to have won 3 out of the last 4, that makes them a dynasty. They're not just a regular team. I asked you a question on why the Rockets fans are so fickle. Last year was CP3. Y'all use that as an excuse. What excuse are you using this year? What excuse do you have now? Last year, we heard for an entire year from Rockets fans. Rockets fans talked to us for an entire year about CP3 getting hurt and what would have happened. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's all we heard from the Rockets fans the entire year. Oh, well, if CP3 don't get hurt, then we win the finals. And we go on to our destiny. But if CP3 don't get hurt, well, guess what? 2019 rolled around. You got a chance to, quote unquote, run it back. What happened? CP3 didn't get hurt this time. Like, y'all didn't have no injuries. The Warriors suffered an injury to their superstar like y'all did, yet they still won. They suffered an injury late in game 5, just like the Rockets did the year prior with CP3. But then they won. So I don't understand. Like, you got to explain to me, explain to me how it is that you all used the CP3 excuse for an entire year, And all the Warriors did was just go out and win. They didn't sit back and say, well, we don't have Kevin Durant. We're just going to fold up like chairs. They're not. Here's my thing when it comes to this whole Kawhi Leonard thing. Spurs fans and Greg, and listen. Oh, can you hear me, Chris?
Yeah.
Spurs fans and Greg Popovich, you should feel stupid right now. And that's no shot at you, but that's a pow, 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 pow. Like, y'all should feel crazy because you thought that you were sending Kawhi Leonard into Siberia. You thought you were sending him into oblivion and saying, well, ha, ha, ha. Hey, Kawhi, you want to leave, right? No, we're not sending you to Los Angeles. Guess where we're sending you? You're going to dun, 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 LeBronto. Or, as some people like to call it, Toronto. Or, as someone like to call it, the 66666. You're going to spend time with Drake. And guess what, Kawhi? They don't have women up there to braid your hair on a consistent basis. So you're going to have to fly somebody in from Compton or go to Compton to get your hair braided. So, yeah, Kawhi, we're sending you there. So, Chris, what do you think that Greg Popovich was saying when he seen that shot go in last night? Like, wait a minute. He's going what? He's doing what? He's headed where? What?
He said that used to be my girl.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So, it's like, I like it. I like the fact that Kawhi Leonard hit the bucket and made the whole Spurs, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Bruce Bowen, David Robinson. I like the fact that Kawhi Leonard hit that shot and made all of them look crazy. Because that's exactly what they do now. They look crazy, right?
And I don't hate on it.
Exactly. Even Skip Bayless. Oh my God, Skip Bayless cannot just give this man a compliment for nothing in the
Did it kind of have that 2015 feel going back without having Kevin in the game with the offense that you all run? He said it felt like a little bit of throwbackish.
It did. Like Steve Kerr said, we didn't have the ultimate luxury tonight, a man who can just go out there and get you 40 on a whim. So we had to play a little more diligent with the ball. We had to be more crisp with our passes. We couldn't, and the room for error was a lot less compared to when Kevin's out there. And I'm happy we won, so we can get some rest and get him healthy, because if we're going to get this three-peat, we desperately need him back. You know, he's our best player, so we dearly miss him, and we'll hold it down while he's out, but it's not the same without him, far from it.